In a time of ancient gods, warlords, and kings, a land in turmoil cried out for a hero. And who was she? Yes, it was a she. Xena, a mighty princess, forged in the heat of battle. That's right. Can you believe it's been 30 years since this heroic princess ever came on the tube? You better believe it. So prepare yourselves. In this TV log, I'm going to talk about Xena, Warrior Princess. This is a Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews TV log. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and today I'm here with another TV log. This time around, it's going to be on one cool, awesome, kick ass TV series. Now, for years, we've mostly had guys being the the heroic heroes in the battles and what have you. But there's rarely been women and what have you that have been heroes or heroines and what have you. You know, we had that Isis, the Bionic Woman, and Wonder Woman, of course, and then of course She-Ra, which of course I'm gonna be revisiting that show later on. But in 1995, we got this one. And let me tell you, she was one badass fighter of a heroine. Definitely. So now, without further ado, I bring to you Xena, Warrior Princess. Xena, Warrior Princess was a sci-fi fantasy action adventure series that originally was shown in syndication as part of the action-packed block, along with its predecessor, Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. The series was originally distributed by Universal and then later produced by Studios USA along with Renaissance Pictures. The series was created by writer, director, producer Robert Tappert. Not Tappert, Tapert, sorry. Now this would be done through his company, which of course was Renaissance Pictures, who had recently worked on various films, including the Evil Dead series. And of course, also he served as where he was executive producer of the first film and producer of the second and third films. He was also executive producer on Hard Target, as well as producer on Dark Man and Time Cop. Now, of course, teamed along with executive producers R.J. Stewart and Sam Raimi, of course, as part of the company. Now, the series narrative follows the titular character, an infamous warrior looking to be redeemed for her past sins against the innocent by using her formidable fighting skills to aid those who are defenseless. Anyway, yes. Now, the show's start was a spinoff of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, which premiered the previous year. The show premiered on this day, September 4th, 1995. Henceforth, today is the show's 30th anniversary. The film was shot in New Zealand. The series was set primarily in a fantasy version of ancient Greece, sometimes alluding to Roman Greece. Some filming locations are confidential, but many scenes were recorded in places such as, it's hard to pronounce this, a regional park which was part of the Auckland regional parks, often credited at the end of some of the episodes. Anyway, now of course, It's not just Xena by herself, she's also got a sidekick with her, a simple farm girl who would later become an Amazon warrior named Gabrielle. She would be Xena's soulmate and comrade in arms during the series, and her initial naivety helps to balance Xena and assists her in recognizing and pursuing the greater good. Each week, Xena and Gabrielle go on to various exotic or incredible locations and take on all sorts of baddies and what have you. Now, there will be lots of numerous characters appearing throughout the series. Now, amongst some of them included Joxer, Ares, Callisto, even Julius Caesar, Aphrodite, and even then the King of Thieves, Autolycus. Autolycus. Yeah, that's how I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, yes. Plus lots of others. Some were assistants, some were not. But anyway, I really think this was really, really something. Still, as I was in my teens when this show came out, but I never did get to see much of it because it was on at late night time. Later did get shown at earlier times, but I failed to catch it. But however, right about halfway through its run, the USA Network picked up the series for reruns, and I caught it, and they continued to air that along with newer episodes, even though it was still showing syndication. Please stand by. Sorry about that. Now, Xena originally started out as a villain in Hercules before they decided to get a spinoff. As the character was so popular with fans, the producers decided to create this spinoff, and then later appeared in subsequent comic book series and many more. Now, I am going to say that Xena is definitely an amazing character. Now, apparently, she does have, well, her powerful weapons, including her sword and the chakram, or chakram, which of course was a throwing weapon, a circular throwing weapon, which really knocked out all the bad guys out. And believe me, I thought that was pretty awesome. Anyway, I will say if you know Zan, when you know where you see her, you'll be hearing this here like more kind of like a kind of a cry from her, like and when she's like coming at the bad guys, and boy, I gotta say that really will surprise you at times, definitely. But anyway, I really thought this show was so incredible, and I really have to admit it was just incredible. The show did pretty well when it came out and was well received. The series remained in the top five for for top rated syndicated drama series, as it remained in the top five, where it reached number two in its final two seasons. Eventually, will go on to win numerous awards and stuff like that. The show ended with its final episode on June 18th, 2011. I'm not 2011, 2001. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied. After an overall total of 6 seasons and an overall total of 134 episodes produced and aired. Anyway, after this series ended, USA continued to rerun the show. The series would later get rerun on Sci-Fi, and also recently it had been shown to Diginet Cozy TV, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's still airing there, but if so, you could still probably catch it. But however, I do have the complete series on DVD. Of course, this is the actual complete series set containing all 6 seasons. And of course, this is the Universal release. When it first got released on physical media, now it did get released on video cassette during its last couple of seasons from 1999 to 2001. 2 years after this, Anchor Bay released the series, all 6 seasons separately, but then discontinued in 2010. But even after that, Universal re released the series. And then leading up to the complete series set in May of 2016. Now, I am finally happy to report that I finally finished watching this series. I got off to a strong start on this, but then soon slowed down. But I managed to see all of them. Here is the first season of the series, which is absolutely really good. Actually, they're all really good. Here's season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, and season 6. Yes. They're all good, and they have all sorts of great stories and great characters, aside from even Xena and Gabrielle, who I think were the most amazing team ever for two females. That was really awesome. This proved to be such an incredible thrill ride and all that jazz. Now, when the Rotten Tomatoes and others have rated the first season with an 89% rating, they say Lucy Lawless exudes the steely charisma in the series, a swashbuckling actioner that transcends its origin as a spin-off and becomes a fully realized saga in its own right. Entertainment Weekly's Ken Tucker gave the second season a B+, saying Xena is Wonder Woman on steroids, and Lawless, with her dark bangs, moon face, light blue eyes, and small grim smiles, plays the warrior princess with barely concealed delight. I couldn't have said it better myself. Playing Xena is Lucy Lawless, of course, an actual New Zealand actress. I must admit, she did very good in playing her. Of course, she had recently appeared, well, years later on shows like Parks and Recreation, as well as Salem and Ash vs. Evil Dead, which I still have not yet watched. I really should be watching that one day. Maybe I will. But anyway, yes, the character of Xena is absolutely incredible, and I really did love her. Same goes for Gabrielle, played by Renee O'Connor. Yes. Whom that same year would appear in the direct-to-video sequel to Sam Raimi's cult classic Darkman. And of course, she would appear in numerous other films. Not many I've never seen and not too familiar with, but she had also appeared on other series. She had recently done other shows before this, like Teen Angel, Tales from the Crypt, and NYPD Blue. Now, of course, aside from Lucy Lawless, she did appear as Gabrielle in a few episodes of Hercules, 4 episodes. Now, those were just the two characters that were credited in the core cast, the main performances. Now, for the rest of the cast, well, maybe not the main cast, but for others, we had the character of Joxer, a loyal friend of both Xena and Gabrielle. He loves Gabrielle, but his love is requited. So he settles for being a good friend. He's played by Sam Raimi's brother, Ted. Yes. I gotta say, he's really something. Now, for other characters who appear in this, let me see if I can find a few of these. Playing Autolycus is Bruce Campbell, who, of course, appeared as Ash in the Evil Dead series. Now, he's the self proclaimed King of Thieves, who has a kinder heart than he lets on. He's friends with Xena and Hercules. He does appear in Hercules, though they don't always trust him for his devious nature. Yeah, you better believe it. Let's see now. Well, there's lots of others. Um, okay, yeah. Playing the God of War, Ares, is Kevin Smith. He also appeared as Ares in Hercules as well. Although, well, he unfortunately died a year after Xena had been canceled. Well, actually, a little over a half a year. So may he rest in peace. But he did a great job on this. We have a young Carl Urban before he even played Dr. McCoy in the Star Trek reboot films as Julius Caesar. Let's see. There's Hudson Light appearing as Callisto, who of course Lucy Lawless also portrayed, who later got reincarnated as Xena's daughter Eve later on in the series, and Eve was played by Adrian Wilkinson. Then we have Alexandra Tyings playing the goddess of love, Aphrodite. Yeah, really something. Martin Sakis, who of course later went on to appear in Triple X, played Boreas. He also did play another character. And let me tell you, the list goes on for this. Anyway, now the chakram is actually Xena's trademark weapon. Anyway, Xena also has to fight her own past, as she has never forgiven herself for her crimes and often has to resist the temptation to return to her evil ways, but she always resists with the help of Gabrielle. And of course, Gabrielle was introduced in the first episode as a big fan of Xena and her history, but soon becomes a noble character in her own right. As the show progresses, she undergoes significant changes in costume and style, evolving from a simple farm girl to a talented bard and eventually to a formidable warrior. And she is initiated into a tribe of Amazons, learns to fight with a staff, and is trained by Xena. Another thing I will point out about Joxer is, well, he's the show's main comic relief. But anyway, there's lots of other characters they encounter along the way. So anyway, Xena Warrior Princess is definitely a fun show. Again, great stories, great characters, everything was really good. And of course, I like its great, amazing, epic theme, where its music was composed by Joseph LaDuca. Now, during its time, there would also be video games, books, and also an animated film called Hercules and Xena: The Battle for Mount Olympus, where, of course, Kevin Sorbo, who played Hercules, joins Lucy Lawless for this animated film. Michael Hurst, who played Hercules' sidekick, and Renee O'Connor actually, well, reprise their roles from the two series as well. So anyway, there had been talks about doing a reboot, but that's long Splitsville. But hey, I'd say it's unlikely it will get a reboot, but I doubt it will. Because in 2007, NBC announced that it canceled its plans for the foreseeable future. And I think that's for the best of it. I think Xena's good as is. Thank you very much. I doubt they would reboot this. But overall, Xena Warrior Princess is such an amazing show. I do love it. It's really awesome. So, anywho, you can get this series for a fairly good price. If you can find this for a reasonable price, I'd say go for it. But if you can't find it, you can get the solo sets. You know, Universal did re-release the series in solo sets. Forgot to show you the other side of the complete series. Sorry about that. And the spine art. Anyway, now also there is also ways to stream it. The series is currently available to stream on Prime Video. There is also a Xena Warrior Princess Fast channel on Prime Video. You can check it out there. You might be able to find it somewhere else, but I don't know yet. It's probably just Prime Video that has it, so check it out. I think you're gonna love Xena Warrior Princess if you've never seen this before. This is a show I would definitely recommend to you. But what did you think of this show? Have you seen Xena Warrior Princess? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation, and you know the rest. And we'll have another video coming up soon. And I won't tell you what it is. Just wait and see, okay? Now, if you like this, you may want to check out some of my reviews for these other fun-filled TV shows. Could please stand by. Okay, I'm gonna give you one big show which was part of my childhood. You can check out my revisit Saturday morning, well, not Saturday morning, my regular TV log on the animated classic of 1983 He-Man, The Masters of the Universe. I would do it. You can check out my review of the Masters of the Universe film from 1987 in the upper right-hand corner, or if you would like maybe another film that was done that took place long before this was even made, done by Sam Raimi. Check out my re-review of Darkman from 1990 in the bottom left-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.